Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is currently Sunday, and I'm doing some more Ace Attorney, and it's freaking freezing in here. God, can the weather chill out? Like, my hands for a while have just felt achy as all balls. Oh, Funny Stuff has already sent out a 1-bit Corgo. Adorable. But anyways, so that is the plan. Sorry I couldn't do Ace Attorney last week, but again, I had something come up at last minute. But we're ready to dive in, and no more stalling. Time to go into this trial and see whether or not we can solve all the world's problems. That's what it seems to be. What's everyone's Christmas tradition, Fluffy's currently saying? We play Monopoly, plus as an accountant, qualified person, you are the banker. Interesting. Shadow has also said a Corgi. The Corgi army is upon us. Everybody run. The chaos ensues. Okay, Smokey. Let's go ahead. For me, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of Christmas traditions aside from getting together with family, open up some presents. Like, pretty much the traditional stuff. Like, the stuff that you would kind of expect to see Christmas-wise. Okay, load them all up. Ooh, Shadow's Christmas tradition is fondue. Fancy. Is it like, you know, a chocolate fondue fountain or something? It'd be weird if you had like a cheese fondue, fountain fondue. Actually, no. No, you can't do that, can you? Does there exist a fondue fountain that you can use Cheese Whiz in? I feel like that's got to be a thing. I don't know. Funny Stuff says, for Christmas, I exist. I leave my room for once. I know that there's the whole chocolate fondue fountain thing. You guys don't use a fountain because you're not that fancy. To be fair, it's a lot of extra fluff that you really don't need to deal with. Okay, let's move into here. This is the court proceedings. May 19th, 8:50 a.m., High Court of Kurain. Oh, and also I need to unmute the thing. Ooh, cutscene! Maybe. Yes. Oh, dear. Oh, shit. We're being overrun. This is going to be a shitstorm of a trial proceeding, isn't it? How are we supposed to do law in here? For God's sakes, people's lives are on the line, damn it. May 19th, 9:28, High Court of Kurain, accused lobby. It's complete chaos outside. Let's just say the Defiant Dragon supporters demonstrating for Dirk's freedom have taken a very special interest in the outcome of today's trial. They look about ready to string us up if we lose. Well, that's okay, because we're going to get strung up by the courts if we lose. So don't worry about that. Oh, Shadow says, I can't stomach that much chocolate, so we normally just go for cheese. Also, Funny Stuff. Wait a minute. Funny Stuff says, imagine a tomato sauce fondue fountain. You put mozzarella. I want. Yes. Oh, that is an amazing concept. I want it. A marinara fondue fountain. I don't know how someone would do it, but someone get on that. Science needs to do this first. Also, that is so much grease. The divination seance. The victim's final memories will become a matter for deliberation. I've heard about that. But they haven't stopped you from winning your cases here in Kurain. True, but it wasn't easy. Still, the memories of the dead are simply another piece of evidence. There's always a way to deal with them if your client is truly innocent. Well, I know Dirk is innocent, but I don't know, he seems real shady. Also, he's dying. I have one more big secret. Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth, no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all. I just made the vocal equivalent to BitB shock. Someone tried to make a marinara fountain, but it didn't work. Again, make it work. Yeah, Funny Stuff says, well, they need to try harder. Dirk, what is that secret you're keeping? Hey, AJ. Oh, hey, how's it going? Do you know anything about it?
Here you go, just like I promised.
Howdy, hooded hobo. Thanks, Stats. Wait, weren't you arrested by the police yesterday?
Yep, and I spent the night in the slammer. I had a fine meal, a shower, even a bed. What more could I ask for?
That actually sounds way better than where we're staying.
Just remember, AJ, if Dirk's found guilty today, he'll probably be found guilty under the Defense Culpability Act, too.
Yeah, now you'd have said something to that effect.
That which Quran wants to take advantage of today's to crush our revolution once and for all. The fight of the revolution, and every Quranese person rests on this trial. We're counting on you, AJ.
Hello, Mario. Glad to see you can make it. We'll be fine. I'm gonna win this one. You'll see. The trial will begin shortly, Apollo. Let's make our way into the courtroom. Right. Rightio. 3 attorneys against 1 prosecutor asshole who inside is dying. Fluffy says, I'd be surprised if Dirk did do it, as it was the only way to save Maya. Would or... Yeah. Yeah, Fluffy says, I would be surprised. Hey, I don't know. Dirk seems to be a very well-rounded and, nice, kind individual. So I'm sure that whatever happened here, he probably has a good reason for it. So we will see. I don't think he killed somebody. We'll see. Anyway, let's open up the doors and... Oh, all right. Surprisingly, the chaos has died down. Mario says, is there a second chat? No, there is no second chat. You can't see the comments that I read? Refresh the stream chat? I don't know.
Let the trial of Dirk Sadmadhi begin.
Either that or, you just showed up here. There's a whole bunch of, backlogged conversation that you probably didn't see. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Majesty. So it's really come down to this. Well, don't expect me to hold anything back, Nayuta. Ooh, Rosie says, Psst, it's me, Rosa. I'm on a school computer. Why are you on a school computer?
This trial will examine both the murder of Justice Minister Inga Karhul Karin and the assassination of the former Queen Amara Sigatar Karain. First, I believe we should address the murder of Minister Inga. Would that be acceptable, Prosecutor Sadmadhi? Prosecutor Sadmadhi.
Very distracted, huh? Yes, of course. Please proceed. What's with him? He's about to kill his own father? Rosie says, I'm doing an essay at my art building and collaging at my... And your hand hurts. Can you borrow mine? You don't want mine because it's extremely cold in here. And, they feel just rickety and crappy. They felt sore the entire day just because of how cold it is in there.
How very unlike you, Prosecutor. Is your mind elsewhere this day?
Rosie says, my hand is warm. I don't want to make any kind of a switch. If it's in this much pain, You guys swap hands and you immediately get frostbite. Yes. Pretty much. I live in just the coldest shadows of the night. Not at all, Your Majesty.
Are you really going to be able to go through with this, Nayuta? Well, Prosecutor Sadmadhi, I would be remiss if I failed to voice a concern of mine. I have heard mention that you are son to the accused Dirk Sadmadhi.
Peeping in on my conversations, are you? You have heard true. Does that fact pose some sort of a problem, Your Majesty?
A father being prosecuted by his own son. Could one possibly deliberate such a case without having personal feelings intervene?
Yes, without question.
Can he really handle this? Even if it is Prosecutor Sadmati going against his own father, it's just... How can the son of a criminal even be prosecuted?
Yup. Hello. Hey, Fasha.
Dirk. Fellow citizens, you would do well not to underestimate my son. He's not one to allow personal feelings to interfere with the execution of his duty. Isn't that right, Nayuta?
I will not stop until my work here is done.
See? So all your doubters just sit back down before you trip over your own stupidity.
Boy, he's very jovial for someone who's going to be hanged. Or potentially die of some horrible disease.
The accused will not take the stand without first being summoned. In any case, if Prosecutor Sadmati has no issue with this arrangement, then let us commence the deliberations.
Oh, hello, that was a lady voice. Oh! Hi, Queen Garon. One moment, if you would.
But, Your Eminence?
Your Eminence, what brings you here? Oh. Bitch of the century.
Your Majesty, it would appear that Prosecutor Sadmati does indeed have some reservations.
No, that is not true.
Do you truly believe you could deceive me, Nayuta Sadmati? One should hold no reservations if one is to stand on these hallowed funerary grounds.
I have none, Your Eminence.
No, it is clear we cannot leave this matter to you. We shall handle the prosecution of enemy of the crown Dirk Sadmati personally. But remain by our side and bear witness to how a true prosecutor enforces the law.
You hope he doesn't die in court. Let's see if I'm good! And maybe he won't. Excuse me, but is the Queen going to prosecute in this case? Is that kosher?
There's no need for concern. Before we were crowned queen, we served as a prosecutor.
Why do you keep talking to yourself in the third person?
As a foreigner, your ignorance can be excused, but know this. The prosecutor in charge of the Queen Amora assassination case 23 years ago was none other than Her Eminence Queen Garon Sigatar Karain.
Okay, so it's clearly her that did it. First your Majesty and now this? Why doesn't anyone ever tell me these things? I'd heard she served as Minister of Justice, but she was also a prosecutor? I'm guessing she probably moved up the ladder from prosecutor to justice minister.
We prosecuted that case 23 years ago, but no verdict was ever rendered. We had one guilty verdict in every case until then, but no lawyer could stand up to us.
That sounds like a lot of threats and under-the-table, blackmail. Burn it. Oh, we'll see. We'll get there. I'm sure they will catch a nifty amount of fire. Oh, Funny Stuff says... Wait a minute. What video is Funny Stuff talking about? Because Mario says, I haven't seen that video in years, Funny Stuff. What? Very sorry. She did it. She stole the recipe. She's guilty. She did it.
Alright, I'm at a loss for words.
Same here. But that's not hard to do.
Do you think I would once more bear witness to Her Eminence at work in the Hall of Justice?
Oh, the second one was meant for Rosa. Ah, very nice.
Our first trial in 23 years. No quarter shall be given to criminals. We shall prosecute them with all our might.
Rosa, I'm so lost. Bit help. What the ever-loving hell is this?
What magnificent sight! That queen's attire for prosecutor days. Think we would get to see it once more.
Why is she like that? Yeah, Shadow says Spider Woman. That's a very good word for it. What is going on? Why is her hair tentacles? What the? That's Queen Karan. Talk about an extreme makeover. It's all coming back now. The feel of my blood pumping through my veins. Woe to you, O enemies of Karain, for I shall personally slice, dice, and grind you up into hog feed. Funny stuff. Why do prosecutors always dress like this? I don't know. They're so freaking floofy. Like frilly and all jazz. So much freaking going on. It's so floaty. You look, lady, you look like a bad supervillain. Like the cheesy one. Yeah, you look like someone that would straight up, like, the next season of Power Rangers called, they want you to be a part of it. I don't suppose I can ask her to roll back to her polite pre-makeover personality. Mario says Edgeworth, Winston, and Clavier are the only normal people. And normal if you consider, like, you know, a prosecutor that is also a rock star in his regular days normal. Know this, lawyer? Yes. Now that I stand as prosecutor, consider your defense bench a headman's scaffold. If you wish to leave any last words, I advise you to start thinking of them now. I guess Von Karma, but Von Karma was intimidating as hell. Oh no, Manfred Von Karma, not, yeah. While you still have a head in which to think, that is. Me. She's dead serious. Now it's time for the divination seance. Right, for come forth. This is your freaking mother? Are you kidding me? Yeah, she seems like she just doesn't want to be here.
Your benevolence, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Who did your eyebrows, girl? Nice one.
Your benevolence, I understand it may be difficult for you, but, may we proceed with the divination seance?
Yes, let us proceed. Oh god, what did you do to the baby? I mean, the fact that her father is dead. That's a pretty major thing. And that she is about to see the last few moments of her father's life. Oh, Jaluxia sent 10 bits of several different hearts for stream support. Thank you.
Forgive me for asking, but are you feeling physically unwell? If so, I would advise you to avoid any undue exertion. Your benevolence.
What's wrong? It's like her mind's anywhere but here. Nobody wants to be here today. Everyone except the person that is clearly the blood-sucking vampire. A lot's happened since yesterday. On top of the murder of her beloved father, she found out that he'd been planning a coup. And today she'll have to experience his death through his own eyes. Yeah, that would be enough to shake anyone up. Still, it seems like she's worse off today than she was yesterday. What the heck is on her wrist? I mean, that's clearly some sort of a glove. The prosecutor is a leech at best, Rosa says. Yeah, I don't remember her being this depressed. We must speak with our child. It is a mother's duty to discipline her child, after all. Now, if you would excuse us. Discipline? Coming from her. I don't like the sound of that at all. Wait. Garan didn't do something to her, did she? Oh, shoot.
Your evidence about today's divination seance. As I understand it, the prosecution has yet to review its content. Is this divination from... is this a deviation from protocol a part of your plan? Prosecutor Sardmadhi, would you care to explain your actions?
Your Eminence, the accused was caught at the scene of the crime. Therefore, I deem no seance would be necessary for such a clear-cut case. Oh, Jesus. Ooh. Jaluxi has posted a screenshot of what those 10 bits looked like, and apparently there was just a heart explosion. That is very strange. You and your bleeding heart. You seek to spare Rafa the trauma of witnessing her father's death. Is that why you have done this? Not at all. You were concerned for me, Prosecutor Satmati? That's oddly compassionate for him, of all things considered. Oh, he's a compassionate boy. He's being forced to do things. Your Eminence, your Majesty, regardless of what is best for her benevolence, this case is blessed with a bounty of incontrovertible evidence. So I believe we can reach a swift verdict without devoting precious time to the seance.
You have a point. Personally, I would like to spare her benevolence of any undue misery. Experiencing the murder of a loved one is a burden no one should have to bear.
Maybe refresh your chat. Good lord, that is a heck of a lot of hearts just strewed about your screen. Let's get down to business, Hooded Hobo says. Prosecutor Satmadhi, your Majesty, can this trial truly proceed without a deviation seance? I can't blame her for not wanting to experience her father's murder firsthand. And funny stuff follows up, to defeat the heart. And then funny stuff throws a heart at me. Great.
Your Eminence, what are your feelings on the matter? Shall we have her benevolence return home for some much-needed rest?
I feel like she's going to be a complete bitch. Yep. We shall not. I swear, she is like a couple of different design choices away from being brought into the next JoJo Bizarre Adventure, I swear. You fools spoil her with your feckless words of compassion. Oh. Yeah. Listen well, Rafa. You have spoken time and time again about how grown-up you are now. Yes, but... So let us see if the royal priestess has truly come into her own. Are you prepared to fulfill your duty and perform the divination seance as you should? Oh boy, I can't wait for her to get her just desserts, like seriously. Yes. I shall send you to the Shadow Realm. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's better. See? Problem solved. Hooded Hobo says, she really does! Also, my cap locks is stuffed. Send help! Also, the necklace. Yeah, the necklace is freaking insane. That has a lot of spiritual power. Megatama to the nth degree. Poor Rafe. Okay, poor Rafa. Is this really a good idea? I guess we'll see. Very well. Let us begin the divination seance. Naina, my robe. Oh. Looks like Naina is still missing. It's been a whole day already. Bobhead. Yes? You remove my robe. What? Why me?
Don't keep her benevolence waiting now, Mr. Wright. Can't you see she's ready to begin?
Great. I've been reduced to Royal Robe Remover. It's like she's grooming Mr. Wright to be Naina's replacement. Clever as hell if that's the case. Funny Stuff says, are you ready for the best part of the game? My eyebrows are thoroughly raised.
Very well, your benevolence. Please start when you're ready.
Come, Rafa, you know what must be done. There's no turning back now. I know. The final memories of the deceased. This should be interesting.
O
All right.
Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Here we go. Our final dance. And what could possibly be the last divination seance of the game, perhaps. And I feel like this one is going to be chock full of surprises. Rosie says, is this the last case? As far as I know, yes. We haven't actually seen a divination seance in a very long time here. So, like, this game did not have many. Which is sad, because this was a pretty good change up in mechanics. Double time it. Oh, geez. Raging Fire is on Dual Destinies right now. This is major spoilers, then. Holy crap. All right, she's done it. Now time to see what kind of hell lies beyond. What? Uh-oh. What the hell is happening? Is she being choked out? What is going on? Can she see it? Oh my god. Oh no, hospital.
Your benevolence! What's wrong?
I think the king choked her out, like, from beyond the grave.
This is unacceptable! Bailiff, take her benevolence to the first aid station at once!
This is not good. What? No divination seance. What's going on? Funny Stuff says, this is for not getting me photos of Spider-Man. Jesus Christ.
Your Eminence, do you have any idea why her benevolence collapsed so suddenly?
It seems she was not ready for what the deceased was to reveal. It overwhelmed her. Her inexperience and immaturity left her ill-prepared to face her father's death. And she said she could go through with it. How very disappointing. I know someone who's not winning Mother of the Year ever. I mean, of course Rafa is going to be overwhelmed. She's still just a child. And on top of that, I don't think I would want to see my parents' final seconds of life. Jesus fucking Christ. It seems we have no choice but to move on to witness testimony, Your Majesty.
Oh, yes, let us proceed. Bailiff, summon the first witness if you would.
Dun 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 dun. Oh shit. Well, you better be true and clear with what you're talking about.
Is this not the accused?
It is indeed. I thought I would give him the opportunity to plead his case. For true justice is more than an unilateral presentation of the facts by the prosecution. That seems uncharacteristically fair of her. It's a trick. It's clearly a freaking trick. Funny Stuff likes his shoes. Alright. However, should the accused fail to produce convincing testimony, he, along with his cabal of traitorous lawyers, shall immediately be found guilty. says who and why. And their heads will roll from their shoulders. What? I should have known there was a catch.
Your court, your rules. Same as it always was, I see, Garan. Now then, Mr. Dirk Sodmati, if you could enlighten us as to what happened. Well, I would, if I could.
Right, this is gonna be a
Oh, I passed out.
situation. Didn't know the prosecution could decide terms, Pickleboyo says, and Shadow replies, well, she's the queen. Truth. Truth is definitely there. Doesn't seem like a real queen. You don't say. Yeah, it seems like she's very utilitarian.
I was struck by a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the tomb. The next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand. And lying right in front of me was Inga, dead as a doornail. I've no recollection of what happened in the interim. But I didn't kill him. At least, I don't think I did. It'd go against everything I believe in.
That didn't explain squat. For the record, let it be known that the accused's fingerprints were all over the murder weapon. And since he was caught in the act, there was no chance for a third party to tamper with it.
Well, that certainly seems to point the finger at you, Mr. Sodmati. Even as a lawyer, I have to agree with you there, Your Majesty.
Seriously, Dirk, this is not laughing matter. This is exactly what Garan wanted. To have Dirk try to plead his case only to fail miserably. How low can she go? Did Vanessa have a child? Prosecutor, behold this most unpleasant of spectacles and let it be etched into your soul. See how instead of accepting it the inevitable, those fish-brained lawyers flounder and flop themselves straight into the abyss of despair. Yes, Your Eminence, show me the way. Stop listening to her. Run for your life.
Now then, would the defense please begin their cross-examination?
Oh, with pleasure. Benoing.
I was struck by a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the tomb.
You were struck by a sudden dizziness? Was it because of his illness? Is that something that has ever happened to you before?
Can't say that it has. Maybe age is catching up with me. I'm no spring chicken after all.
Oh, thank you for the 5 bits, Hobo. I appreciate it. That's not the issue here. Don't listen to her bitchiness. You thought I was listening to her bitchiness? Of course I'm not. I'm ignoring everything about her, and I'm just getting down to straight facts. A most cunning excuse. One befitting an insidious insurgent.
Oh?
A killer who does not recall his crime. How very convenient. Next, I imagine you'll plead insanity. You aim to seek a lesser sentence through excuses and subterfuge, do you not?
Objection!
Yes.
Don't make me laugh, Your Benevolence. How dare you? I'm merely stating my innocence. I've no intention of offering excuses. It's your baseless speculation I would decry as foolish. You deceitful witch.
Yes! It is your wish that I should claim your head right now. Is this in this very hall?
Well, that would certainly speed things along.
Funny Stuff says, daily reminder that Manfred von Karma's
Objection!
sounds like he's in the middle of eating a sandwich.
I didn't eat lunch. Shut up.
Dirk, why don't you let me handle it from here? And if there's anything you need to say, you can say it through me, okay? Anything to stop you from needing the queen. Next time you have an objection, you'd better have some proof to go with it, Dirk.
The accused will continue with what he does recall of the crime. The next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand.
Do you recall anyone putting the knife in your hand, Dirk?
Wish I could say I did, but I don't remember a thing from before I came to. You think there might have been a third party in the tomb, son?
Yeah, because if you didn't do it, then the real killer must have been there with you. I love how I give her such, like, a deep, womanly voice, and yet, like, it's very clearly a feminine in some capacity. Talk to the hand. You called your evidence? Does she go anywhere without those goons? Was there a third party in the tomb when you were securing it? No, your eminence. We searched high and low, but found no one of the sword. And there you have it. Oh, right. They did search the place. Furthermore, my guards had the entire tomb surrounded, so there was no way for anyone to escape. That's right. No one got in or out without our knowledge. Our evidence is on-site detectives. We're absolutely directives, rather. We're absolutely flawless. Damn it. Removing the legal out of paralegal. Funny Stuff says, it's Gary Oak's cheerleaders, but with gender swaps. Right. Garon, she's our woman. If she can't do it... Oh no. What's a good thing that rhymes with woman? That. Do you see now? The presence of a third party is beyond the realm of possibility. The tomb was, for all intents and purposes, completely sealed off from the rest of the world. She's not human. There we go. What a waste of time.
How can it be any more obvious? Dirk must be the killer. Thanks for nothing, gallery guy. As if our graves weren't already deep enough.
Accused, what do you believe about the possible presence of a third party?
Well, based on the situation you presented, I'd say the chances are slim to none.
Mob mentality. You didn't have to agree with her, Dirk. Let the accused's statements be added to his testimony.
Very well, Mr. Sodmarty, if you would.
It's like the more we press, the thinner our case gets. Well, let's keep pressing, and maybe we'll work out the wrinkles in it, too.
The possibility of a third party being there in the tomb is probably non-existent.
We can't prove you're innocent without at least the possibility that a third party was there. Rosie was trying to type something and apparently typed something wrong, and it's just like, I hate Mac computers. No, fair enough. I've been a PC guy my entire life, and working with anything that isn't PC, or at least based on hardware of PC, my brain breaks.
Find the possible in the impossible, son. That's just what lawyers gotta do sometimes. Isn't that right?
Right. Who, me? Yeah, you could say that. I've seen more than my fair share of trials like that. They'd start with no viable evidence, useful testimony, or any hope of winning. But through cold sweat, desperation, and a little luck, I always managed to pull them off.
Right. I can see we are a kindred spirit, you and I.
Geez, taking cases like that must shave years off your life. If that were true, I'd be long dead. Find the possible in the impossible? Can I prove that it was at least possible that there was a third party in there? Dirk, what did you see at the scene of the crime?
Let's see. I came to...
Rosa says she's gotten swole from holding up her bullshit.
And lying right in front of me was Inga, dead as a doornail.
You stated that he was as dead as a doornail. How can you be so sure?
It's pretty easy to spot the difference between a soulless man and the soulless shell of a man. His complexion and the amount of blood at the scene made it obvious which was what it was.
Watch your words, or you shall join Minister Inga much sooner than expected. That was a threat. You could bow your head before him and seek his forgiveness there in the Twilight Realm. Dude, like, we've literally been talking about, like, all right, we joked about Yu-Gi-Oh! In the chat earlier, but now we got, like, Twilight Realm. Like, this just seems parallel just to the Shadow Realm. Like, are we going to pull out dual decks next? Like, what are we doing? If you still have a head to bow, that is.
You bloodthirsty spider! What happened to you? There was still a little love in your heart 23 years ago. You even used to think of me as a brother.
It seems you truly do have a death wish.
Is that really all you've got? Dirk, I'm begging you, enough of the lip. Just deliver your testimony, please. All right, I'll try, but I can't promise anything. I've no recollection of what happened in the interim.
You're waiting for the Martian to come out of Dirk. What? Why Martian? A day's passed since the murder. Haven't you remember anything in that time?
My memory is a complete blank. It's as if that part of my brain has been scooped right out.
How very convenient. But even if you've no memory of the event, your guilt is without question. There's nothing more to debate. Seriously, take a look at this right now and tell me that this isn't some sort of negative version of Dio Brando.
You're forgetting one thing, Garan. I have no motive.
You lead a band of insurgents that seeks to overthrow the government. I would say that alone is a motive enough to slay our kingdom's Minister of Justice. Dio already is negative. I mean, negative in colors. Dio Brio. Have you no recollection of Phantom Blood?
I've declared countless times that I lead a bloodless revolution. I forbid violence and murder, even if some younger members may have a thirst for blood.
A bloodless revolution. You wouldn't really have a motive in that case. Is that an important statement? Sure. That was an important statement. I'd like my client to add it to his testimony.
Very well, then. The accused will please do as the defense has requested. I don't have a motive for killing Inga. After all, me and my ilk seek a bloodless revolution.
A bloodless revolution. Could you be more specific?
I'm talking about dragging their pompous prospector here dragging this pompous prosecutor here off her bloody throne. So go ahead, Garan. Act all high and mighty now, because it's the last chance you'll get.
You still speak of rebellion despite the charges against you. You truly are a fool. I will prove your guilt soon enough and display your head for all of Kirain to see. People who will forever speak of you, not as a revolutionary, but as the terrorist you are.
You're mistaken,
I was about to say Maleficent just because she looks a hell of a lot like it at this point.
You're mistaken, Your Maleficence.
Actually, wait, no, Maleficence. He did say Maleficence. Shoot. Dang. Everything is coming up, Millhouse.
It will be you the people who speak of, as the tyrant who was overthrown by her own people.
I wonder if you will still be spewing such nonsense before the headsman's axe. Everything's coming up, Maleficence.
I'm afraid I'll still be like this in the afterlife, despot.
I know that self-restraint is as foreign as apple pie to Dirk, but I'd really rather go home than the Twilight Realm after this.
But I didn't kill him. At least, I don't think I did. It goes against everything I believe in.
Can you state that you didn't kill him more definitively?
How can I when I have no memory of what happened?
Well, can you at least state whether or not you are a murderer?
That I can do. I am not a murderer. and I would never kill anyone, no matter the circumstances.
And you have any evidence to support your claim that you did not kill the minister?
Evidence? No, can't say I do.
In that case, you will strike that statement, "I didn't kill him," from your testimony.
Wait, you can't just discard testimony like that. I mean, I'm the one cross-examining the defendant after all, and I
Hold your prattling tongue, foreign devil. I'm the queen of this kingdom, and the queen is the law. As such, I need not follow the laws that are in place. I can make and break them at will.
That's not power hungry, holy shit. Henceforth, the accused will refrain from stating, "I didn't kill him."
What?
Sure, whatever. It's the Garan show after all. Same as always.
Germa voice, this is my house.
I guess there's no evidence that proves I didn't kill him either.
I feel like this might be something that I need to present on. Dirk, leave the evidence finding to me. Now, please, will you stop agreeing with everything the prosecution says?
All right, I'll stick to the facts from now on. But remember, son, if you truly believe in me, you should be able to prove my innocence. I know you can do it.
He believes I'll prove him innocent. Even with all these inconvenient truths? Is that what he's saying? I think Dirk might be onto something. Even the most disadvantageous facts may point the way to the truth. So don't ignore them. Think of them as food for thought. I was about to say fast food for thought. What do you think fast food for thought would be? Awful television?
Don't worry, I know.
The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. I need to remember that, no matter how difficult the facts may be to deal with. Fast food for thought is the History Channel. You got it. Ancient aliens! If only we could establish the possibility of a third party. But does the possibility even itself even exist? We don't have a choice. Proving it exists is the only way to start a real dialogue here. Alright, so the possibility of a third party being there in the tomb is probably non-existent. Somehow we need to prove this wrong. So, the good question that we got going on right now is, what is it? What pieces of evidence do we have that could slightly point to the idea that there was a third party? Didn't we have something about the tomb and the fact that it is freaking empty? Here. Maya was there. I mean, she's alive. Good question, but let me see here. One of these statements, I think, has something about it. Let me take a look at this. Okay. Caught up in the incident, lost his life, struck in the head. All right, nothing about anything happening over here, so let's just... picture taken of the channeling photo. Right, I remember that channeling photo. Oh, thank you very much, Hooded Hovo, for the 2 bits. Notepad of English. People's characteristics are in here. Right, yeah, I remember that. Medication for back pain. Right. Mysterious blood stain. Photo of Inga's body. Diagram of the crime scene. Alright. Silver's gotta go. And thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. So, I seem to remember that we had the idea and the suspicion that the coffin, that, the sarcophagus that had the body in it could potentially not be there. But I think we're going to have to work up to that. I don't think we're quite at that level yet. The possibility of a third party being there in the tomb is probably non-existent. Let's think. You're right about the fact that Maya could potentially be a part of this. Ah, Rosa will be back too. Very well. When is Maya not? Yeah, Maya always gets herself in horrible problems. Here's Albi's statement. Anything else about this thing? Nah, okay, nothing about that. You know, honestly, I'm kind of thinking, I'm looking at this and I don't really know if there's anything to thwart this. We're trying to come up with a way to break the third, this whole thing and get a third party involved. But we might not have to do that right away. So, I don't have a motive for killing Inga. After all, me and my ilk seek a bloodless revolution. I don't know if I want... Like, this is the new statement that was opened up. I don't know if I want to go against this, though. A dragon never yields. Nah. Yeah, I don't know. No idea. File containing a ton of information about the incident. I really don't feel like I should be trying to counter this thing. But I'm also very stuck. Perhaps Maya channeled his spirit to overtake Dirk's body and kill Inga. I don't think that's how that works. Maya would have to bring in the spirit of somebody else. You know, I don't think Maya can push his spirit into somebody. Again, we got to prove somehow that the possibility of a third party being there in the tomb actually did exist. So let's think about that. You know, okay, perhaps it's stabbed from behind, cause of death is blood loss, time of death approximately 3 p.m. One thing we were discussing at one point was the fact that where the killer was standing at the time, and that was directly next to the tomb and this, like the sarcophagus and whatnot. So perhaps that has something to do with it. Yeah, I don't think the mysterious blood stain would have anything to do with it right now. Right. So my assumption is that I have to be presenting something very early on. So perhaps the tomb diagram. Let's see. Objection! Nope. Don't you think that statement was a little odd? I thought nothing of the sort. Sorry, Apollo, but I have to agree with her. But what? Really?
It would seem that the only thing that could be considered odd is the defense's statement.
Just great. Now the judge thinks I'm even odder than before. All right. Here, let me go ahead and read the last bit of text, just to get a refresher on our objective here. If only we could establish the possibility of a third party. But does the possibility itself even exist? We don't have a choice. Proving it exists is the only way to start a real dialogue here. Right. Again, the main hint here is that we definitely need to be proving this statement wrong. Rosa is now heading off. Okay, thank you for coming in. Stab from behind, cause of death is blood loss, time of death. Anything else about the autopsy? Because the thing that we presented previously was this. Maybe it's time to do the autopsy report.
Objection!
Shit! That statement contradicts with this piece of evidence. Such items are unworthy of my eyes.
Well, if her evidence says so, then I suppose there's no point in wasting time on it.
Come on, don't I deserve at least a cursory glance? Shoot. Alright, I guess I should probably consult Wright. Looks like you're having a tough time there, Apollo. Is that obvious? Well, I've been watching you defend since you first started, so, yeah. And from where I sit, I wonder if there isn't something about that one statement. But, wait, now that you mention it. Thanks, Mr. Wright. Now to take another look at the evidence. All right, which statement is it that we're trying to do this on? Okay, so obviously it's this statement. Got it. Now, have you flagged out any of the evidence that is superfluous? Nope. Yeah, I already knew that this was the statement that we were working with. Thank you very much. Yeah, that did almost nothing. Woo! I'll thank you for the 5 bits, Splat. Okay. And he says, blood mystery equals who? The possibility of a third party being there in the tomb. You know what? All right, let's think about this one. Perhaps this mysterious bloodstain here has something to do with it. Because it's a strange, it's a trail of blood that has been wiped clean. And since this exists, if we know whose blood it is, and if we can deduce how this blood trail even happened in the first place, we could potentially have something on our hands here.
Objection!
There we go. Your Eminence, I'm afraid this trial will not go exactly as you anticipated, because I can show how there might have been a third party in that tomb. Thank you for the 3 bits, Hooded Hobo. Oh, how very fascinating. Go on. I do so love a good fairy tale. We did a luminol test at the crime scene, and we found a bloodstain that didn't match the Justice Minister's blood. I will remind you that neither Dirk nor Miss Faye were injured during the incident. The thing is, this bloodstain we found had been wiped up by someone.
But what's this? What? Who would have done such a thing?
That's the big question, isn't it? Who wiped up the blood and why? Thinking about it logically, it must be someone who wanted to conceal their presence at the scene of the crime. Oh, and whom do you suppose the bloodstain might belong? The bloodstain belonged to Amara, the real killer, the victim. What? Did Hooded Hobo get ads? I am so confused. Splat, do not force people to go off and watch ads. Nobody needs to watch ads. Adophobia. Very good. Nobody needs to donate any kind of bits. Just being here is nice. Thank you very much for being a part of the chat. Just because I feel like I'm about to be very stupid. And as I say that funny stuff throws 1 bit at my face. Okay. Herp. The bloodstains belong to the real killer, of course. Whoever it was, they were probably shot while they were attacking Minister Inga. And since their blood would give them away, they had to wipe it up. I say this because we know for a fact the Justice Minister fired his gun in the tomb. You have the memory of a flea. There was nowhere for anyone to hide. This, too, is a known fact. Oh, jeez, guys. Thank you for the bits. You don't have to do the thing. But a bloodstain from a third party means there must have been someone hiding there. Very well, then. Tell me this. Where was this third party hiding? Oh, the crime scene was thoroughly searched after it was discovered. So if there was a hiding place, it would have to be somewhere no one would dare look. Somewhere no one would dare look.
Let's have your answer, defense. Now, where could a third party have hidden?
Oh, boy! There's one place no one would search, not even the Queen's Royal Guard. And that would be the dead body. Inside Queen Amara's sarcophagus. Even now, it's locked up tight. No one would find you if you hid there. I'm told that it's temperature controlled. It's temperature controlled to preserve the mummy within. But if someone dressed warmly enough, they could withstand the cold for a short time.
This is sacrilege! Surely the perpetrator of such a foul deed would be cursed!
Do you think they care? They killed someone, Your Honor. But that's just it. The killer knew everyone would be too scared to open the sarcophagus. True, the guards were so scared of being cursed they wouldn't even touch it. And when the coast was clear, the killer made a quick escape from within their frigid confines.
Well, now, that does sound like a plausible method of evading capture.
The defense requests the DNA test of the bloodstain. And then we'll see just who the real killer is. Hello, what? Such insolence. That is quite the exclamation right there. Bow your head and kneel, lawyer. So your head may be parted from your shoulders. Thank you for the cordial. But the trial's not even over. Nice fan. How soon you forget? You were already on the headsman's scaffold. As such, I can order your beheading at any moment. All I did was request a DNA test. There is no need to request such a test. Royal Guard, bring it forth now. Here you go, Your Eminence. The police have already identified the source of the bloodstain. The DNA test revealed that the blood is of the traitor Dirk Sadmati. What? But Dirk wasn't injured, so where did this blood come from? Maybe he coughed it up. Dirk's illness. Oh no. Stomach issues. Still, there was a lot of blood. Could he have really coughed up that much? And did he wipe it up to hide his failing health? Dirk, is it really that bad?
Oh, shoot. You got me.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, darn. Yeah, that was quite embarrassing. I didn't want anyone to know I was coughing up blood. I was making such a mess. I'm sorry.
Pay attention, Horndevil, for this case has already been solved. You claimed that this bloodstain would lead us to the real killer, did you not? About that. Did you or did you not make that claim of your own volition, defense? Yes, I did. After she steered you in that direction, that is. I fell right into her trap. Do you see now the folly in opposing the very embodiment of the law? Whatever you say or do shall come to no avail. A third party at the scene of the crime? It's beyond the realm of possibility. No! Praise be for Queen Garon. Her Eminence's legal tactics are beyond compare. I hate to say this, but she really got us good. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Funny enough, that's something that could definitely pin you if you turn out to be the one that did it. Therefore, it would be impossible for someone knave to open it. Can I really discount the sarcophagus as a hiding place, though? What if the real killer is still in there? No, that's just ridiculous. I believe we have rebels and sympathizers in the gallery today. It is to you I speak. Have you been listening? Dirk Sadmati, the one who proclaimed a bloodless revolt, has betrayed your cause by resorting to murder.
No, it can't be. Dirk would never. There must be some kind of mistake.
The Defiant Dragons and their sympathizers are starting to have doubts. So this is why Garon allowed us to cross-examine Dirk. By establishing his guilt in Inga's murder, she's effectively damaged his reputation among those who support him. True, but now we have an even bigger problem. And now, filthy lawyers, you will honor your end of the bargain. Accept your guilty verdict for your failure to explain your client's actions. Gulp. Oh, don't throw the book at me.
Huh?
Now, I shall pass judgment upon the criminal Dirk Sadmati.
But what's this? You shall pass judgment? What am I, cold liver? What am I, chopped liver? Why am I here? I could have been in bed. I could have been sleeping, eating them, but I could have been just sitting in bed, watching soaps, and eating Funyuns. And this is not fun. Yawns. But, Your Eminence, is that not my role?
Hold your tongue. You are but a figurehead before me, the embodiment of law. Consider yourself dismissed. As Queen of Kirain, I shall now pass judgment upon the accused. No. I call bullshit. No, I call bullshit. I call metric tons of bullshit. Someone help. This is kangaroo court.
Objection!
I bet that's all we can do. Wait! You didn't even give me a chance to rebuke. Knowing you are defeated, lawyer. But just this once, I'm willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow these proceedings to continue. Come, convince me. Quick, Apollo! Even if you have to bluff, we've got to keep this trial going. Show her that the crime could have been committed by a third party. I'm gonna save. Because we've been found guilty. There's not much we can do at this point. How am I supposed to do that? Oh, why don't you start with, how about the timing of Inga's murder? What? This whole case is built on a single premise. That Inga was murdered after Dirk entered the tomb. But what if that's not true? Like, if our assumptions are all wrong. It just might work.
Well, don't keep us waiting, defense.
Dirk became the prime suspect because it didn't seem probable that there was a third party at the scene of the crime. But there is another question we should ask ourselves at this time. Was Mr. Inga really killed after Dirk entered the tomb? What nonsense is this? I think I know where they're going with this, and this is amazing. Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dirk arrived on the scene, opens up the possibility of a third party committing the crime. The question before us is, when was Mr. Inga really killed? After the body was found. After Dirk entered the tomb. Before entered the tomb. Isn't it possible that, before Dirk even set foot in the tomb, Mr. Inga was already dead?
That would certainly make the possibility of a third party more probable. Why, of course. I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. Even if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had a clear line of sight to his body from the entrance. Which means...
Hey, Nestor. How's it going? You wouldn't have noticed his body either way. This scenario is entirely possible. And so we can't rule out the possibility of a third person committing the crime.
I see. Well, that certainly does make sense.
So far, so good. This might actually work. Not with her on the other side of the prosecution's desk. Very well. I shall play along with whatever little game you have knocking around in that tiny mind. I don't need a big brain. I have cords of steel. I was starting to get quite bored of all this. I could do with a distraction. Oh, your cockiness will be your downfall. Yes! Okay, guilty verdict amended. Wouldn't it be great if that entire scene played backwards now? Let us hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain. Bailiff, summon Rafa. Surely she has recovered by now. No! Jesus! Heartless witch!
But what about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore?
Oh, Jesus, this is fucking awful.
I hope you're feeling better, Your Benevolence.
Must I perform the divination seance?
What? Oh, no. We merely require your testimony this time.
How could my testimony be of any value?
Your Benevolence.
Princess Rafa seems awfully depressed. After what she's been through, summoning her again is like rubbing salt in the wound. I think it's a little bit more than that. It's literally just kicking someone directly in the kidneys while they're down. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. I hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Sadmadhi, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara? And about me? From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother. And only yesterday. Rafa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people. So I told her. I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. Again, what do you mean by discipline? I feel like something happened. I feel like a belt was whipped out. I see. Be as it may, Your Benevolence, it has no bearing upon our trial here today. So there is no need to let it trouble you. I know. Garan told Rafa about something other than Amara's status.
Sounds like it, but what could it be?
Rafa, the defense has proposed something preposterous. They somehow think your father was already dead when Dirk entered the tomb. But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what is required of you? Yes, I'm ready to testify. Jesus, there's so many heavy pauses in this.
Very well then, Your Benevolence. Your testimony, if you please.
Okie dokie. I guess this is better than doing a seance. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second floor, veranda. Oh, that's an interesting word. Around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb. Then at about 2:45, I saw Bobhead and company enter the courtyard. I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30. It's like a porch, Mario says. Oh, interesting. So basically, it's like a balcony of some kind. Your second floor veranda? Oh, here we go. Here's the answer. Oh, she must be talking about that house facing Inga's private residence. So that's the location from which you saw your father. And at about 2:30? Yes, and shortly after that, you people arrived at the royal residence.
So after the minister entered Amara's tomb at around 2:30, no one went in or out of there until the murder was discovered?
The tomb is closed to outsiders, so no one could have snuck in before the murder. That rules out any possibility of a third party lying in wait to slay my poor husband. Oh, don't you go for sympathy now. Shut up. Oh, I missed that entire thing.
Or so she'd like us to believe.
Now hear me, you useless lawyer. Cease this charade and bow before me. For I, Queen Garan, shall finally have your head. Okay, now I just kind of want to voice him like, you know, the Queen of Hearts. Off with the head!
Forgive me, Your Eminence, but first, let us allow the defense to question the witness.
I'm just like, I swear, I have power here, right? I'm the rule. I'm the rule guy. Okay. All right, on the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second-floor veranda.
Hold it!
You say you'd been watching the courtyard until we arrived, correct? That seems like an awfully long time. There is much that weighs on my mind. I see. She really does sound troubled. I don't think she ever fully recovered from the previous trial. Yes. Your benevolence? As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. It's a lot of stuff to think about. I wonder if I'm even up to the task. Funny Stuff says, alternative universe where the Queen of Hearts sounds like Hank Hill, and instead of saying off with her head, says, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna kick your ass. I guess it's not easy being a princess. Your benevolence. I'd be happy to lend an ear if you'd ever like to talk. Oh, what's that look for? What would you know of my woes? Do not presume to exceed your station in life.
Sheesh. Teenagers. Your benevolence. What did you witness from your veranda?
Well, around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb.
Hold it!
Did your father seem different or troubled in any way?
Let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing.
There was?
Yes, a shriek emanated from within my father's quarters. After which I witnessed him bolt outside, his countenance drained of his usual color.
He screamed and he was looking pale? What do you suppose happened?
I know not. Perhaps he had a bad dream.
Or maybe he was killed, you simpleton! Maybe it was a nightmare about being raked over the coals by the queen. Okay, that was a low blow. I'll fully admit that one. It seems our younger lawyer here wishes to hasten his journey to the Twilight Realm. Sorry, that was rude of me. You what? Mighty Carrick says, nice of the Inga to invite us over to Amara's tomb, eh, Apollo? Does the defense believe the witness's last statement to be important? I believe it is. I would like the witness to add it to her testimony.
Very curious. Why was he so pale and different looking? My father let out a scream and came dashing out of the room, his face pale.
Hold it!
And why do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out?
I didn't see anyone else, just my father.
That last statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Should I press her on this?
Press softly.
Your benevolence.
Yes?
This incident was a real shock to us all. It must have been really terrible for you, but I want to let you know. I know how you feel.
Please stop. You presume too much.
It's times like these that you need something to take your mind off things. How about we all go on a picnic together or something?
This isn't really important right now. I need no sympathy from you. Go on, you little picnic alone, hornhead.
Well, that didn't go well.
Apollo, you have to take a more aggressive approach.
Oh, shut your mouth. Yeah, he's probably right.
Now, back to my testimony. Okay, I guess I'll go back and I'll press the thing again.
Hold it!
Funny Stuff says, slowly walks over to the witness stand, puts hands on Rafa's shoulders, presses softly, walks back to the defense desk. I did it! And in this case, I'm gonna go over there and shove her very hard.
Your benevolence, let's have some details. The more the better.
Details, you say? Yes, for example, are you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Well, is that a yes or a no?
Foreign devil! I'd been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday. Yet I saw none other than my father.
Oh, if only I'd stopped him then. I think you've struck a nerve, or rather, obliterated one. Maybe I pressed a little too hard. Son of a bitch. Still, that last statement seemed a little off somehow. So, you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 p.m., huh? Please add that to your testimony, Your Benevolence. Apollo's fists must really hurt. No, they're very steeled up after so many times of hitting that desk. Anyway, gazing about the courtyard since about 2, but father was the only one I saw. Pretty sure this is probably the statement that I tried to push, but is the royal residence always so empty?
Naturally, it is where the royal family lives, and we are few in number. Besides, Nana and the little birds who visit, I have no one else to talk to.
Is there anything more stereotypically princessy than talking to birds? So, Nana wasn't around all yesterday?
It seems she was quite busy. I was all alone the entire day. It's been like that a lot lately.
Ravi doesn't go to school, so she probably doesn't have any close friends. She must lead a rather solitary life. I guess being a princess isn't all it's cracked up to be. Rafa, I shall buy you a new servant. Oh, goddamn.
I don't want you to buy me a servant like some sort of pet. I want Nana.
I'm beginning to see why Rafa turned out like she did.
Your Benevolence, please tell us about what happened after you saw your father.
Well, it was around 2:30 when I saw him heading to the tomb. Then at about 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company enter the courtyard.
Pickle says, Jesus, buying her daughter's love in front of everybody. Yep, bribery. 2:45. Yes, I believe that's around when we arrived. Mr. Wright, Athena, Dirk, and I were running towards the tomb.
Yes, I was taken aback as we don't normally see commoners in the palace courtyards. Even more shocking was that Dirk, a wanted man, was with you.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I thought the villainous leader of the Defiant Dragons was here with his minions. Because it was, a time for a revolution.
I think you've been watching too much of that TV show. Mariokiman says, sheesh, at least Inga had a note from Rafa from when she was a kid. It was a birthday note, right? Yeah, I believe so. Yes, I do. Yes, it was a birthday note. Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday. I love you. I love you guys so much.
I have already banned its broadcast for containing contents unsuitable for our kingdom. Besides, the actress playing Rafa looked nothing like her. I can't have my subjects feeling so disappointed when they see the real Rafa.
Mother! Why are you so cruel to me? Are you so ashamed? Or am I all grown up? I shall be just as full...
Wait, once I am all grown up,
I shall be just as full-figured as that actress.
She's placing all her hopes on one final growth spurt. For her sake, I hope it's in her DNA. Well, if your mother is anything to go by, you'll probably fail out.
I love you more than pictures of Spider-Man.
God damn it. I suppose you could always hope for a miracle.
Ugh, I'll show you. I shall double my milk intake and grow up big and strong.
There, Your Benevolence. I think you are fine just the way you are.
Stop mocking me!
Now, may I ask that you continue with your testimony?
I wish I could grow up faster. I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30.
Is it possible you missed seeing someone pass through?
No, my veranda has a commanding view of the entire grounds, and I saw no one else.
But that doesn't seem right somehow. Do not underestimate my daughter. She may be lacking elsewhere, but her eyes are... Jeez. You shut the hell up, lady. Oh my god. They're really trying to make you hate her.
But lacking elsewhere?
Talk about a mother I'd never wish on my worst enemy.
She needs Nana now more than ever.
Rafa didn't see anybody in the royal residence area after 2 p.m. That's a really long time to just look at a courtyard. She was probably lost in thought. She's at that age where I'm sure she's got a lot on her mind. Yeah, I think I know what I need to do here. I had been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2, but Father was the only one I saw. Ratio. Are you sure about that? Let me see if I can find something in my evidence to suggest that somebody was on the courtyard grounds at that time. Pickleboyo says, the dialogue between Rafa and Garan has the same tone as a kid pushing someone up against the lockers. Just about bullying or... yeah, pretty much. Good lord. Absolutely not fair. At around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the courtyard and stole Nana's hat. Right, yes. I'd been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2. This was at 2. Why did you not see any of this? Oh, whoopsies. Sorry. I think it was right, but it cut out the objection. Shoot. What the worst time for my my signal to cut out. What the hell? Give me a moment. At least this is proof that I'm working with actual physical hardware. Come on. Plug in, you son of a bitch. Oh, no. Don't power off. The software has not been closed. Shut your face. What are you talking about? Fuck off. I didn't do that. What? I'm confused. No. Bullshit. How the hell did that happen? Where's the bingo card? Oh, damn it. Did I save up to this point? Oh, God, when did I save last? Okay. Okay. All right. I think we're fine. Gazing upon the courtyard since about 2, but Father was the only one I saw. All right. Are you sure about that?
Objection!
Okay, good. Your benevolence. You're covering for someone, aren't you?
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, Rafa, but you're not gonna like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. It's from a witness who claims that, around 2 p.m., his dog got loose and ran into the palace courtyard. That's when the little fellow stole this hat from someone.
That's Nana's.
I mean, nothing. Never mind. You fool of a daughter. Shut your mouth. Seems the princess made a blunder. So let me get this straight. This is Nana's hat, which means she had to have been in the royal residence at around 2. If so, then you had to have seen Nana sometime after 2 p.m. yesterday. Ugh. No! Gotcha. Please, your benevolence, tell us what you really saw.
It is as you say, Hornhead. I saw Nana, and I saw that that dingbat dog steal her hat from her in front of my father's residence.
I knew it. Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Because my mother told me not to.
What? Would you care to explain, Your Eminence?
I requested she withheld said information, for it is of no relevance to this case.
Leading the witness, I see. Oh, shush. Oh, dang, I missed that. You don't get to decide.
If you disagree, then prove that it is relevant to the case at hand.
Oh, I will. Your Benevolence, please tell us everything you witnessed when you saw Nana.
All right. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nana, I ran to help. I raced from my second floor veranda down into the courtyard.
Wait. That means that while you were coming down, you took your eyes off the courtyard.
Yes, but only for a moment.
This is crucial testimony. If you took your eyes off the courtyard, it means someone else could have entered the tomb without you ever knowing.
Yeah.
Your Benevolence, are you sure no one else was there?
Yes.
She's hiding something again. What about Nana? Were you able to help her?
When I got down to the courtyard, she was gone.
Gone?
Yes, and I never saw her again after that.
Any idea what happened?
That dingbat dog must have gobbled her up.
What fairy tale do you freaking live in? I know you're a princess, but holy shit. I seriously doubt that. A magic dog that makes people disappear. That's about as legit as I could possibly think, Pickle. But how could Nana simply disappear while Rafa wasn't looking? Rafa must know something. The only question is, what? Why Shadow was in the courtyard? Where Nana disappeared to? Why Nana disappeared? Trucy, we need your help! Oh, Midas says, Nana evaporated. She does that sometimes. It's fine. She will come back into her full form later on. It's weird. She just sort of melts like a T2 Terminator. Rafa must know some. Okay. She must know where Nana disappeared to then, if that's the case. Do you have any idea where Nana disappeared to?
What do you mean?
Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb. And it just so happens that Nana disappeared right at that moment.
No!
Wait, you think Nana had something to do with the murder? I don't think we can rule it out. It sounds like something had kept Nana occupied since the early morning. Plus, she was seen right before the murder, and then seemed to vanish into thin air. You're right. And since she's Rafa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the palace grounds. Could Rafa's attendant really be the killer? But that would mean...
First my father and now Nana. These were the people I trust most. How could this be?
Oh, damn it.
Do not heed their lies. Lawyers are foul breed, quick to claim that a third party is to blame for a crime. Nana did not enter the tomb, that much is certain.
How can you be so sure?
When Nana's hat was stolen, that crazed cur spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorstep. Is that not right, Rafa? Yes it is. While that dingbat dog was tugging on Nana's hat, it tipped over the urn. The bottoms of her shoes had been soaked with water, and if she had truly headed into the tomb with wet shoes, she would have left shoe prints along the way. But the only shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga.
Probably something to explain that then. Huh? Then...
That's right. Nana never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters.
How do you know?
It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nana.
That's right. Edgeworth and I did see some shoe prints in there. So it wasn't Nana? I thought she was a shoo-in. Mighty no. Wait, Edgeworth was here? Yep, he showed up for a brief period.
Now do you understand? Nana could not possibly have gone into the tomb. And that supposed third person at the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination.
Did Edgeworth evaporate too? No, people don't evaporate in this universe. Oh, Funny Stuff says, to be honest, I forgot about Edgeworth. How dare you? The edgy boy. Ugh. Another glorious deduction. All hail the genius that is Her Eminence, Queen Garon. Bow down before her glory, witless lawyer. Could those guys fanboy any harder? But is it really true? Did Nana not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but... Oh, you have an idea? Mr. Wright? Your benevolence. What time was it when that dog attacked Nana?
I believe it was about 2:15 p.m.
I see. Apollo, if Nana entered Inga's private quarters at around 2:15, and Inga came racing out at around 2:30, pale-faced and screaming, then... I know what you're getting at. Yes, that might explain his scream.
Would the defense please share their theory regarding Justice Minister Inga's scream?
Certainly, Your Majesty. Mr. Inga screamed because he had a bad dream. He was attacked by Nana. He saw a ghost. A spooky, spooky ghost. Oh, for God's sakes. Maybe he was attacked by Nana. This would make the Justice Minister's private quarters the real scene of the crime.
Does your idiocy know no bounds? The minister's body was found in the tomb. Or are you suggesting that the body was moved?
Do I think the minister was moved from his private quarters? I think the possibility... I feel like it would exist. It'd have to be a pretty clever-ass thing to do. Considering the fact that the body was found in the tomb, I'd say there's a possibility.
What utter nonsense! Rafa had been watching the courtyard. Yet you would suggest that someone could have transported the body unnoticed?
He saw a ghost in a bad dream. It's so obvious. You have a point there. In that case, I'd say there's no way that the body was moved. Oh, bullshit! So apparently I was wrong there. Okay. After all, there was an awful lot of blood in the tomb. I understand if the scream was in reaction to Nana's attack, but Inga died in the tomb. We need to explain how these two realities could coincide. How are we supposed to do that? Hidden door! I don't know. Oh, maybe. Maybe where he was stabbed and where he died are two completely different locations. What do you mean? It's just, let's look at this as simply as possible. If the minister's body wasn't moved, he might have been stabbed by Nana in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb.
Sorry, spaced out there for a second. I see. On the one hand, that seems plausible, but on the other, it seems decidedly implausible.
Prosecutor Sadmati, what is that fool babbling on about now? Is this a riddle from one of those fortune cookies Americans seem to be fond of?
Hooded Hobo says the judge is riding a race car in his brain.
I'm a Formula One race car. I am fast.
Perhaps, but I believe he himself does not know what he means to say. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply ignore him.
Objection!
I wasn't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would you? Funny Stuff says, what if the judge was driving in circles around the courtroom and you could see him in the background?
Well, I got nothing else to do, considering I'm no longer the judge. Just some random schmuck in a robe.
The autopsy report never stated that the minister's death was instantaneous, so he could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed.
Oh my, are you suggesting he ran all the way back to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back?
Well, yes, that's the gist of it. In short, Minister Inga saw Nana with a knife, let out a scream, and when he turned his back for her to flee, right, and that's when he was stabbed from behind. Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water?
Insolence!
Apparently not, according to that. How dare you bore me like this? You are a humorless moron spewing an endless stream of unamusing drivel. I wasn't trying to be funny, Your Eminence. Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing.
Your Eminence.
Ha! Ah! Yuda!
You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice you had been stabbed in the back. But a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain.
Now, hold on.
Allow me to teach you the meaning of pain.
Again, he is psychic. Can anybody do something about that? Niuda has a point. Normally, most people would notice a dagger in their back.
Oh! Yeah, I doubt someone could ignore pain like this.
Still, in this case, it's the word normally that we should emphasize. Is this Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Naruto? Pretty much. Pickle Boyle says, Niuda, for God's sake, please let him finish before you use your wizarding powers. Apollo, take another look at the court record. Right. There must be something that explains this. Oh, I know what explains this. There's a reason Inga didn't feel any pain, and the defense will submit evidence proving just that.
Very well. Please present your evidence. Why didn't Justice Minister Inga notice that he had been stabbed?
Considering we've had a technical difficulty today, I'm just going to go ahead and save for shits and giggles. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on the painkiller shots. Those are my father's painkiller shots.
The defense will explain the significance of this evidence.
Do I have to? Holy shit. Minister Inga suffered from terrible back pain, so he often injected himself with these. We're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these, Your Eminence. You can't mean. Wait, you can't mean. Sorry. Minister Inga was stabbed in the back, close to where he usually injected the painkiller. Therefore, it's entirely possible that he hadn't noticed that he'd been stabbed. What?
What's this? Then, are you suggesting Justice Minister Inga really ran off with a knife protruding from his back?
I am, Your Majesty. So then, when I saw my father, he had a knife sticking out of him. I mean, with that cape of his, I couldn't see his back very well. Yes, the knife was there. It was just plunged in so deep you didn't notice it under the cape. Therefore, when you saw your father, he was already dead. Murdered by Nana in his private quarters. Paul Kuka! Haven't seen a good Paul Kuka in a while.
Omewamo Shindet.
Very nice pickle.
Holy mother of Karain! Are we dealing with the living dead here?
I'm very surprised. Like, it's very nice that the stabbing didn't happen anywhere near the spine because, boy, if he somehow lost any feeling in his legs, well, technically he wasn't dead yet. I know it's hard to believe, but this is a plausible sequence of events. And once Minister Inga arrived at the tomb, he could have removed the knife and dropped dead from blood loss. Nana killed my father. There must be some mistake. Funny stuff, again,
I blame Spider-Man.
the defense would like to call Nana to the stand. Where is Nana? You seek to drag an innocent old woman to the stand with no proof whatsoever? Well, there's no real proof, but... What a tangled web of expedient lies you weave. I can no longer tell fact from fiction. Who or what shall I believe in now? I'm sorry, Rafa. All I've done is confuse you. But I have a sneaking suspicion Nana's involvement in this case one way or another. Just when I thought we'd blown this case wide open. Well, there's no turning back now. Where's Nana? Jesus Christ! You fool of a lawyer. I know why you're so desperate to prove the accused innocent. You do? Yes, because he faces public execution if proven guilty. As shall you, under the stipulations of the Defense Culpability Act. Yes, that tends to be what you tend to do when you are defending someone who probably didn't do the act and is probably going to be executed. Yes, I'm well aware of this. And from the moment you accepted this case, you have had no choice but to fight for your lives. No. The simple fact is, I've always believed that Dirk is innocent. Pah! You still cling to your pretense? Very well. I shall offer you a bargain. If you would admit that the accused is guilty, right here, right now, I shall overlook your crime of abetting him, and you will not be subject to execution. Shoot. Desperation means literally nothing if he's right. Yes. Is this some sort of joke? Far from it. As queen, I have the power to grant pardons even to criminals like you. And with this wave of my hand, I can even reduce the severity of a sentence. Perhaps even for Dirk, should you be willing to cooperate. She wasn't kidding when she said she's the law here. But to flaunt that power in our faces like that, that's just wrong. Forget all that has transpired in our kingdom and return to your own country in peace. You just want us gone because you're scared of us, lady. Well, will you abandon your defense of the accused and accept my generous offer? If I don't take this deal, we'll be executed along with Dirk if he's found guilty. What should I do? Dude! Nice try, Goran. But it looks like you don't know what justice is made of. We won't kowtow to threats like that, Your Eminence. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but I can't back down now. I don't want to drag you into this, so... Don't worry, I'm with you, Apollo. To the bitter end, if need be. And while I can't say I'm used to it, this isn't exactly my first rodeo. Right, you were nearly killed before. But if I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too. Even knowing that, you still want to defend me? I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. Why? So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it. So keep on fighting, Apollo. You'll hear no objections from me. I mean, you might hear some objections, but not pointed at you. You nincompoops! You'll die if you lose this case. Why would you even entertain the notion of continuing? I believe that Dirk is innocent, that's why. And besides, trials exist to give the truth a chance to get out into the open. You can't give up just because you're afraid of some punishment. Even if that punishment is death? Does that not frighten you, Hornhead? Who wouldn't be scared? I mean, just thinking about it. Makes me weak in the knees, to be honest. But as a lawyer, I have a duty to protect my client. I can't just abandon that. A duty you're willing to die for? Yeah, are you impressed now? Yeah, I think I deserve an apology. Phoenix and Apollo, the loyal lawyer boys. And yet I... Duty. It's a heavy burden, all right. Rafa looks like she's really struggling. Ah, this cutscene again. Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule the kingdom one day. Not like we didn't read this before. That means, well, many things learn to determine. Things like how to keep people happy and what's true is what's fun. Yeah, this is a very hard piece of dialogue. I'm drowning in text. Al says, Apollo looks like my brother if my brother was about 13% more nerdy. But it's no surprise, considering the torrent of painful truths she's had to face.
Very well, then. If the defense is prepared to face the death sentence under the Defense Culpability Act, then I see no reason not to continue with the proceedings. But I must admit, I see no grounds for doubting the accused's guilt.
Unless the defense has further evidence that would indicate a different suspect? Do we have anything like that? I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and save just in case we don't. Well, lawyer, do you have any new evidence you would care to present? Or shall I have the executioner start his preparations? If she thinks I can't do this, she's got another thing coming. But first, I have some serious thinking to do. I'd say that new evidence indicating a different suspect What are they going for here? I feel like this is a trick. I think, technically speaking, I don't think we have the evidence we need to actually show this. And I think it's trying to hint at that. And perhaps we need another, perhaps we need maybe another witness or something? Some more strings to potentially tie to this little mystery? Well, I've saved. So I'm going to go ahead and say does not exist. Such evidence does not exist. Just as I thought. I was so hoping you'd present meaningless evidence and allow me to claim your head.
Glad I didn't walk head first into that one, then.
So, what now, Apollo? Well, unless we can prove that Nana killed Inga, this trial is over. And so are we. Isn't there still a way to get the proof we need? Even without evidence? You know, a key means of obtaining testimony here in Karain? Huh? Wait, are you actually suggesting? It certainly won't be easy, but it's worth a try.
Your Majesty,
A crucial step in uncovering the truth behind this case has yet to be taken in this trial. But I'm positive that I can back up our claim with this one step.
You mean you will be able to prove that Nana killed Justice Minister Inga? And just how do you propose to do that?
With the help of a certain someone.
You need help?
From someone? Don't look so bug-eyed, you know what we're talking about.
Well, I can't imagine who that could be. But I suppose I must ask, whose help do you need to uncover the truth?
Well, I would say we need some spiritual healing here. And there's only one person that is spiritual that is conscious.
But that's...
Me? Here in Karain, legal proceedings include the viewing of the victim's final moments. But that requires your benevolence's help. Such information is just as vital as any other piece of conclusive evidence. If you're right about this, Rafa's power should be enough to see the very moment Nana stabbed Inga. It will be hard to watch your father's murder, but it's the only way to uncover the truth. Your benevolence, we need you and your power. You need me?
Objection!
Oh, now suddenly you don't want her to be presenting any. How funny. Wretched simpleton, do you not see what ensued in the previous attempts? You would only succeed in wasting more time, or is it your goal to make her collapse again? The princess said she was prepared earlier. Besides, it's her duty as royal priestess. I'd say it's all up to her now. Am I prepared? Prepared to fulfill my duty? Isn't a divination seance required at all trials anyway? If so, I imagine there'd be a problem with handing down a verdict without one.
Indeed, it would be problematic. Under Kiraini's law, a seance must be conducted before a verdict can be rendered.
Insolence!
Yikes!
Must you try my patience so? If I must dispense with that vexing law, then dispense with it I shall. Huh? As ruling sovereign of Kirain, I proclaim the following. Oh, nice pen-tipped nails. Henceforth, the divination seance shall be optional. What? She has the power to do that? She just rewrote the law without a flourish of her hand. Mother, I do not wish for the trial to end like this. It is as the defense said. I must not neglect my duty simply because I am afraid. I shall go through with it this time. I will conduct the seance once more.
Insolence!
Rafa, do not be fooled by his loyally guile. You are not prepared to witness your father's death. I don't know. Is she? But Horned Head needs my help. Rafa, did you not tell me earlier? Okay, did you not tell me you were prepared? But despite your grandiose posturing, you collapsed in a most piteous fashion. Yeah. Even worse, you have erred in your insights of late. For has not the barbed one there overturned them more than once? Oh. You cannot be trusted to keep your word, nor can you reveal the truth through your insights. So I say to you, be gone. No, you be gone, for you are the thought. The Sacred Hall of Justice has no need for such a worthless royal priestess. Wow, I cannot wait for you to get the execution. Holy shit. Worthless. Wow, how could she say that to her own daughter? Here. I won't. Okay. Sorry. Again, apparently Twitch likes to block the word thought. Unfortunately, I can understand that. So, Mother, you think me worthless? Her benevolence says she can do it, doesn't she? So I don't see why you have to condemn her before she even made the attempt.
Very well, Horn Devil. If you really are so bent on having a seance, I shall give my consent.
Really?
However, should Rafa fail once more, you two and the accused shall be executed on the spot.
Come again?
This is proving to be far more entertaining than I had anticipated. Well, lawyer, what say you? Will you wager your life and call on Rafa to perform a divination seance?
I feel like I don't have a choice in this matter, but, Yep. I don't think you're worthless, your benevolence. Far from it, in fact. If you say you can do it, then I believe in you.
Hornhead, I do not understand. If I fail, you will be put to death.
I know you collapsed during your previous attempt. Do we really need to see this again? We literally saw this. Yeah, this seems to be just the game of, I believe in you. I can't even imagine how terrible it must have been for you. But despite that, you are willing to try again. I have faith in that conviction, in that courage.
My courage?
Ah, so she was doomed to fail if she didn't have the courage to perform the seance. But it looks like she's got the determination to try again. What is wrong with me? I've said the word determination so many times in my life. Why would I mess it up now? Undertale is angry at me. Sorry, Toby Fox. Right. And that's a bet I'm willing to take.
But it is as Mother said. I've aired my insights as of late. Not only have I failed to reveal the truth, I've also contributed to false accusations. Knowing that, can you still say that you believe in me?
I wouldn't take stock in those words, your benevolence. Despite what your mother says, I don't think you've made any errors at all.
Huh?
In the trials I've been a part of here in Kurain, I would have never proven my client's innocence without your seances, because even though they didn't always reflect the absolute truth, the insight they provided served as a vital lead to finding the truth.
Vital leads? My seances?
So please, your benevolence, try to perform the divination seance one more time. What are you objecting to? You agreed. Son of a bitch.
Rafa, stop this madness. It is for your own good. You are ill-prepared to face your father's death. Go, leave the sacred hall at once.
I really want... I so badly... Oh. Al has sent one bit to cheer on. The heart of the cards. I so badly want, like, you know, all of this nonsense, and I finally want to see Rafa just, like, turn to her mother and just, like, put the middle finger up. Just like, fuck off, Mom! Mother, you insolent bitch!
No. What did you say?
I said no, Mother!
For I am the royal priestess of Kurain.
I have no need for you now.
Even if you do not need me, Mother. Hornhead and this Hall of Justice do. He proved that to me by risking his own life. It is because of him that I now understand. The divination seance is my sacred duty. I must fulfill it, no matter the risk.
Shadow says, feel sick, can't watch the rest of the stream. Gonna either go to bed or go downstairs to lay on the couch. Oh, by all means, rest. There's no necessity for you to be watching the stream, especially if you're not feeling well. I break eardrums on a constant basis.
Your benevolence.
Mother taught me that the divination seance was a mere reflecting naught but the truth. But I began to have my doubts after Bob had disproved that insight it offered. And now, I don't even know who or what to trust anymore. Father, Mother, even Nana. I had believed in them above all others, but I finally know now. I know in what I can trust.
Oh, holy spirits. Holy shit.
The royal priestess must debate each seance with the presiding lawyer and prosecutor. So that it can be interpreted properly. That is how I believe trials here in Kurain should function. Therefore, the Hall of Justice needs me. It is my power that leads trials toward the truth. That is my sacred duty, and I will never shirk from it again.
That right there, your benevolence, is the product of what you've learned in your struggle so far. The truth that you realize with your own strength.
As my sacred duty, I must ensure that it is fulfilled. I must have the courage and resolve to see it through.
Your Eminence, the royal priestess says she will conduct the divination seance. I see no grounds for you to forbid it. Unless, of course, you are worried that it might reveal something you find inconvenient. Mother. Yeah, Mother. I'm done letting you have your way.
Rafa, you would actually rebel against me, your mother and queen? Though I am scared to see my father's death.
I fucking hate you more than that.
I must face my fear. That is what Hornhead has taught me here today.
Rafa, one more seance for the road. You took the shroud off without help.
Prepared to face my father's death.
I'm so proud of you. Your Eminence, it seems the princess is more grown up than you thought.
Rafa.
Thank you for the bits, Jaluxia, and funny stuff.
Well then, let us proceed with the divination seance.
The victim's final moments. This should be interesting. I wonder what Inga's memories are going to show us. Once more.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
We're seeing this cutscene again. I was wondering, I'm like, are you going to cut to the chase? Nope, nope. You paid good money for this CG. I see we're going to do it again. Tra-la! I know I can skip it, but come on, man. Why would I? Once again, there's a story reason to watch it, so sure. Let her boogie. She deserves the boogie. And it turns out the entirety of this sequence is just run by LEDs underneath the flower. Like, wouldn't it be great if it turned out like, okay, the seance is real, but a whole lot of this flashy light stuff we kind of added in the 21st century. Also, this dance, we increased the amount of time that the dance actually spent, like, about tenfold. Before, it was just a twirl. Funny Stuff says, what if she just randomly did other dances mixed in with it, like the the Kazatsky kick or Fortnite? I would love it if she just did the chicken dance and the Macarena for no reason. All right. Here it is. Grapes. Incense. Tastes like shit. What? I smell some incense. What of? Oh, this is clearly the chamber. A man's voice. Is it his voice? Okay, now he feels pain. That seemed more sharp than it was supposed to. Something tells me he was actually... Oh? Uh-oh. Not good. All right, the gun goes off. This is very detailed this time around. Well, once again, the seance is pointing directly to us. Shit. What in the... A faceless being? What the heck? His face, it's just like... that picture of the founder! That was pretty faceless. I think that's the last thing anyone expected to see. Father, what was it? What was it you saw?
Are we to understand that this was the last thing the victim saw?
Yes, there can be no mistake. That was what my father himself witnessed.
How very strange. You don't suppose the Holy Mother possessed the accused and slew Minister Inga for planning a coup?
No.
The divination wrath of the Holy Mother? Oh, Holy Mother, we are ever grateful in your blessing.
Talk about a sharp left turn in the Twilight Zone.
You know, there's one thing in there that caught my attention.
There were a lot of things that were very interesting with that sequence. Right, laughter at the very end. That laughed. Who does it belong to, and why are they laughing?
Who knows? Though I suppose it could be Dirk after he slew my husband.
Uh-huh. But that figure didn't even have a mouth. I have no mouth, and I must laugh.
Ho, ho, ho. I think we're done here, lawyer.
How so?
You claim that Minister Inga was stabbed in his private quarters, and, feeling no pain, went to the tomb where he eventually fell dead.
Yeah, a lot of stuff kind of points to us. Shoot.
But this seance vision proves he was stabbed in the tomb and felt great pain, no less.
Oh, that.
Therefore, as I asserted all along, it was the accused who stabbed the minister in the tomb.
Everything just backfired. Big time. Wow. Quran has the devil's own luck, doesn't she?
Now then, I shall give voice to the soul of the deceased. Listen well and heed these words.
All right. Let's do it.
At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice.
Of course, sour grape juice.
while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh.
It is grape juice, though. Man, I doubt.
So what now, Mr. Wright?
It's up to us to knock holes in Rafa's interpretations of Inga's memories. In other words, we need to prove that our understanding of them could be mistaken. I know it really is grape juice, but I'm being contrarian.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
So anyway.
Ah, yes. Any minute now, I'm finally gonna have my pictures of Spider-Man. Man, if only the Holy Mother was Spider-Man.
Then a stab happens. And then for whatever... and then, like, directly in front of him is a Dirk-esque figure. And also, that head moved. That is creepy. They can say alcohol. I know they can! But no. Mm-mm. I reject that reality and substitute my own. It's wine. Anyway. So, let's go ahead and pause. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. All right. Drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. Makes sense. He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. Do we know it's Dirk's voice? Well, hold on a second. Play again. It specifies that it is a man's voice. I don't think we can, conclusively say it was Dirk here. So honestly, I kind of want to point that out. No.
Objection!
Ooh, I think I got it. Your benevolence, there seems to be an inconsistency in your interpretation. An inconsistency? Where? Minister Inga is far too relaxed for what was supposedly about to take place. Is that what I was pointing out? When he heard the voice you claim is Dirk's, he didn't seem the least bit alarmed. He just kept looking at the picture of the founder. That's strange, right? He was waiting for Dirk to arrive with the founder's orb, but when he heard the voice, he didn't even turn to look. Don't you think he would have been worried about being attacked from behind? Then whose voice was it? It was likely someone whose presence wouldn't have alarmed him. Someone like a friend. But there was no third party at the scene of the crime. Therefore, the voice can only have belonged to Dirk. The voice of a third party who wasn't there in the tomb. Apollo, don't we have something that could reveal the owner of the mystery voice? I don't know, do we? You know, I think we do. I don't know. Something that Inga had while he was waiting for Dirk. You're hinting a whole lot of things, but my brain isn't concocting them yet. With it, we just might be able to figure out whose voice it was. I believe we can identify the male voice Minister Inga heard with this. What voice? In what way? Was it a recording? I doubt it. What does Inga's notepad say again? Nothing about voices, so I'm pretty sure that's not it. There's nothing in here about any kind of voice type thing. He heard Dirk while he was walking over to the picture? Yeah, I don't know. Phoenix's tie is pink. Yep. Confirm. Okay, what was it? What was it? All right. I believe we can identify the male voice Minister Inga heard with this. Brain, do your job. I'm trying. Brain is trying to function. We can identify it with my attorney's badge. No, we can identify it with Dirk's badge. Mars assassination file. Anything about this at all? Probably not, but... So, the hints that we got is that he was relaxing and he was just chilling, had his stuff there. Okay, nothing about... I don't think there's anything in there about... So, at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker, ran into the courtyard, stole Nana's hat. Let me see if there's anything else about this. This was at 3, right? Did we specify that it was at 3? Well, it wasn't the dog. Fair enough. Hands you a Phoenix Wright. Hands you a Phoenix Wright. Hands you a Phoenix Wright. How do you know? Maybe the dog can talk. Shut up. Yeah, I don't think there would have been any kind of like... All right. The only thing I can think is that perhaps there was the sound of somebody... The only thing that I can even slightly point to as being a voice-related thing is Albie's statement. At around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and all that jazz. Dats leapt out of a bizarre manhole, got yelled at by a dog and warbod, and then threw a firecracker. Well, that was something like very long ago. So no. The time of events do not really mix with that. Maybe it's not related to voice, but rather related to the body itself. Just saying. Pickle boy, I think you're trying to throw me... Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you, Pickle. I totally forgot he had a cell phone on him. You're right. That's my father's... I know this must be hard for you, but could you please look at this photo? There's something here that can point us toward the identity of the voice. This is the real source of the man's voice. So he was on the phone talking with a person. A cell phone! Right. I believe that the voice the minister heard was of a call on this cell phone.
I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. What is your eminence's view on the matter?
I concede the possibility. Then it seems I must refine my vision.
All right, note that. Man's voice on the telephone. Subordinates, okay.
It appears that the voice belonged to one of my father's subordinates.
Are you telling me I still haven't gotten pictures of Spider-Man on my desk? Are you serious? I'm a very busy man, yeah, so I'll get them to my desk by the end of today.
Oh, what's the sharp pain? Why do you suppose he was talking to one of them then?
My father had members of the secret police positioned throughout the palace. They were supposed to contact him as soon as they saw Dirk and the rest of you.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Your benevolence, I believe you have an insight to revise.
I know, Bobtail. Don't presume to tell me to do my duty.
At around 3 p.m. All right, did it? My father then took a call from a subordinate at the palace. Okay, so that's one part of it. Let's try and find some more stuff. So the voice was coming from the phone. That's good to know. but there might have been other sounds coming from the phone. Sounds that could be clues. Let's take another look at Rafa's insights and really focus on the various sensations. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Boy, aren't you just the, the master of the... Okay, alright. So, grapes, incense, sour. So we need to think about stuff related to the sound of... Like, sound and possibly sounds coming from a phone. So, footsteps. We hear a subordinate's voice in his ear. Ah, look at her, so pretty. What did you... Okay, wait a minute. A lion's roar, a dog's bark. What the shit? I'd say that's weird. Yeah, both these... Excuse me. Your benevolence, this insight is inconsistent. Oh, boy. What? Wait.
Oh, please, do tell. Where exactly is this inconsistency lie, Warhead?
Well, it's kind of hard to say, especially when you put me on the spot like this.
The defense will only present opinions that won't collapse under pressure.
Oh, shoot. Okay, maybe that wasn't weird. Parrot? Okay, I think I did this entirely wrong, so... Pause. Drinking grape juice while gazing on the mother. Call from subordinate at the palace. Next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh. I got it. I know what's going on here. It's this.
Objection!
Wait! No! No! No. I know what it is. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be presenting to. Son of a... Assholes! Okay, fine. So it wasn't that. So I think it is. My father tried to shoot it. Okay. All right, let me think about this. So... All right. My father then took a call from a subordinate at the palace. And while this call was happening, we heard lions roar and dogs bark. Is this what I'm supposed to be pointing at?
Objection!
Oh my god, are you fucking real? What are you talking about? That's the weird thing. That's the inconsistent. I know what we're doing. I know why that's there. Shit. Am I not supposed to be presenting on that yet?
I've heard enough. This trial need not be drawn out any longer. Regarding the murder of Minister Inga and the assassination of Queen Amara, the defense has failed to counter the charges filed by the prosecution. I will now pass judgment on the accused Dirk Sodmati and his defenders Apollo Justice and Phoenix Wright. This court finds that these three individuals guilty.
Hey, if Apollo canonically... No, Splat, stop it. Well, shoot. I'm pretty sure they probably put me in a convenient place to return. Dude, what the fuck? I know what... I know what they're getting at here, but I can't answer it. Oh, damn it. I tapped the cord. That's all it takes nowadays. Here, come on, man. Behave. Be good. Okay. So we're back here. And what part of this have we come back to, by the way? All right. So subordinate's voice, dog... All right. So... Clearly, there's something else we need to be pointing out here. So let's think about this. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. My father then took a call from a subordinate at the palace. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh. I don't think it was the explosion, because the explosion was the gunshot, right? Why does the explosion exist? Because he tried to shoot his attacker and he missed. Then it would likely say gunshot. Oh, do you think they would be that, like, picky about that? Where was the ringtone? He was probably on the phone at the time. You think so? You think it's the... All right, so then we got to think. If it's the explosion, what's the statement that we're trying to point at here? It was probably the last one. All right, well, let's try.
Objection!
Nope, that's not right. I don't think that is a consistent thing we're trying to figure out. All right, so not that. Grapes, incense, the sour taste of grape juice. And again, incense. There's incense everywhere. His footsteps as he's walking, of course. A subordinate's voice, which is can be heard through the phone, which is one thing we're trying to... God, I swear that is what we're trying to point at. Because that makes no sense. And there's footsteps and then you show up. Yeah, I tried the laugh at one point. But that didn't seem to work. But just associate the laughter. And then there, I swear I did this before, guys. I swear. Like, again, the sound of laughter, the attacker let out a laugh.
Objection!
That's consistent. That lines up. So that's not what we're trying to do here. So keep track of that. He would have taken his painkiller, maybe. You're not positive, but it's a probability. No, here's the thing. I don't think the painkiller thing is what we're trying to be pointing at here. Again, it's something to do with this phone call. They've heavily hinted at the fact that it's the phone call. It's got to be this lion's roar or the other thing. But the question is, what would the... We got to think about what we're trying to present on, though. Took a call from a subordinate at the palace. Father tried to shoot his attacker, but missed. So, oh, God, all right. Maybe I just didn't point at the proper thing, because I didn't point at lion's roar previously. I pointed at the other word. Took a call from a subordinate at the palace, and then suddenly there's a random lion's roar? That doesn't make any sense. That is an inconsistency. There aren't any, there aren't any lions around here. What are you talking about, lion?
Objection!
I think I got it. I hate to break it to you, Your Benevolence, but you misinterpreted something again. What do you mean? Again? Quit lying to us. Smooth move, Apollo. I think you just hurt her feelings. She may put on a brave face, but she feels more than she lets on. let me rephrase that, Your Benevolence. Your interpretation of your father's phone call to his subordinate at the palace is inconsistent with his final memory.
What do you mean by that?
A random lion's roar. A lion's roar could be heard over the phone. Don't you find that strange? You claimed the call was with someone at the palace. So it ain't no subordinate. But let me ask you, do you keep lions there?
We do, in fact. I have several pet tigers, and I will have one of them eat you! No, the only animals at the palace are little birdies and my pet frog.
Wait, that giant one in front of the minister's house is her pet?
Besides, there aren't any lions in Karain. We don't even have any zoos. A rather sad state of affairs, I'm afraid.
She wants to go to the zoo, confirmed. Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the phone is actually from something hanging out in the bazaar. Isn't that the cry of the warbod over in the bazaar?
Yeah.
Your Benevolence, do you think you can clarify the voice for me?
Very well. I will now attempt to further refine my vision.
Okay, warbod's cry. Intriguing.
What's this?
Just as I suspected, it was the call of a warbod. That means the subordinate Minister Inga was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace.
But why is it important where the call came from? What significance could it have?
She's right. Is it important to know where the call was made from? Oh, it's very important. Are you kidding me? We can lean in on who the heck the subordinate was. It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end was at the bazaar means that the loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot.
But I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in that area.
Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Ray for the real source of that sound. Will do.
Well, Hornhead, I'm waiting. What was the true source of that explosive? All right, yes. I know what's going down here.
Firecracker.
Take that!
Apollo slams his hands down, so it must be important. I was about to say, it's like, Apollo slams his hands down, and it sort of sounds like an explosion sometimes.
What is that?
It's Albie Guide's statement. In it, he claims that Dat's Arball threw a firecracker at him while he was at the bazaar.
Then...
Yes, that sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding.
Duh!
Objection!
And yet a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. A bullet fired from Mr. Inga's gun. How do you explain that?
Well, we don't know whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged?
Ha! No, I have none.
Wait a second. If that loud bang was a firecracker, then could that laugh at the end have been...
No! It can't be!
Oh, it can, and it is. The laugh came from none other than... the Joker, who got a kick out of startling Albie with his dragon shot snaps. That happy-go-lucky Das Arball.
What?
Someone should really put a leash on that guy. I shudder to think how one man can be the cause of so much trouble. Hey there, JPW. Y'all can thank me later. No one asked for your commentary, Mr. Arball. Your Benevolence, do you need to revise your insight?
It would appear so.
Call from a subordinate at the bazaar. Ta-da! The true source of that loud bang was the firecracker. And that final laugh belonged to none other than Dads himself. See, your vision is very clear. It's just you're misinterpreting everything. Well, this changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rafa's insight again. Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency. Alright, time to go at it again. What could... Alright, so now there's some more interesting insights to stuff. Sour. Incense.
Oh. The picture's crooked again. Shoot. How does this keep happening? Is it the light tremors in this area? I don't know.
So let's think about this one. A warbot's cry and a dog's... Okay, so this dog's bark situation here. I feel like that might be something to do with it now. Because we haven't covered anything about the dog barking. There's pain. And then we got this shit. Let's think about this for a second. Hold on. Oh, hello. Silver's gotta go. And thank you very much for coming in. So this terrifying thing. Is there anything that we could, like, point to that, you know, just being like, what the shit? Stabbed in the back and collapsed. There's nothing really about the face, so I don't think we can do anything with the face. Didn't Chidor's location have to do with the time of the murder? Ooh. Yes, you're right. It does have something to do with that. So... Wait, Shadow did it! No. Here. We got a dog's bark. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. Okay. Well, 3 p.m., eh? That dog's bark says otherwise. Boop.
Objection!
Oh, no. That was not right. Your benevolence. This insight is inconsistent with the vision. Oh, please do tell. Where exactly does this inconsistency lie, Hornhead? Well, it's kind of hard to say, especially when you put me on the spot like this.
The defense will only present opinions that won't collapse under pressure.
Son of a bitch. Okay, so it wasn't that. Or it could have been, but... What the heck? Okay. Funny Stuff posted something over in the Discord. What is this? It's Shadow, the hedgehog. That's where the gun came from. It all makes sense. No wonder there's a gun. It's the hedgehog. Snatcher plays Shadow the hedgehog. That's where Edgeworth went. God. The chaos. Okay. I still think that that whole dog barking thing, we definitely need to do something about that. Because we still haven't even talked about it. But then what do I select about it? Robot's cry. A dog's bark. Why? At around... Okay, it's not at around 3 p.m. He was drinking grape juice. Father then took a call from a subordinate at the bazaar. I think it might be this, considering, again... It's just being like, why is that dog at the bazaar? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. How bizarre! How bizarre!
Objection!
Why? No! I swear! I know what I'm doing! I'm not stupid! Ah, shoot. Okay. Oh, hello. Phoenix, help. There's nothing here! Looks like you could use a sounding board, so how's this? We now know that the loud explosion was a firecracker that Dats threw. That very fact may have produced an inconsistency somewhere. You're right. I'm gonna take another look at Rafa's insights. Okay, well, yeah, I know that. My father... Okay, hold on a second. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. Okay, we see that. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. Yes. Father took a call from a subordinate at the bazaar. So, all right, that's correct then. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. The true source of that loud bang was a firecracker Dats threw. The final laugh belonged to none other than Dats himself. So, we've already... So Mighty says, I don't think you need to specify that it was Shadow. He was chased off by the sound of the snaps, which is why he stole Nina's hat. Okay. So, here's what I think. And this could be entirely wrong. But, again, at around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb. There's the explosion. And laughter. My father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. We know that this laughter belongs to Dats now. And this situation didn't happen at 3. So I think this is the inconsistency.
Objection!
Or I'm an idiot. Did the murder really happen at 3 p.m.? Oh, wait. Oh, maybe it did work. I mean, if the laugh is coming from the phone, then it is something Minister Ingo would have really heard at 3 p.m.
The call came from the bazaar. A place where such sounds as laughter can be heard at any time. Even if that was Dats, he could very well have been laughing like a fool at 3 p.m.
Yeah, you have a point there.
Hornhead, I'd advise you to think again, carefully.
I think you're getting warmer, but you're still a little off. Isn't there another sensation that could more definitively pinpoint the time of the call? You know, something that could only occur at a certain time? Right. Time to review the evidence again. Maybe it'll help me spot any inconsistencies. Okay. So the game just threw me a bone. I think what we're doing here... So, clearly it is the at around 3 p.m. Element here. So, there's the footsteps. Subordinate's voice. Hold the phone. That's it. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. At around 3 p.m. But that dog's bark is an indication that it happened sometime around the time... Like, I don't think I made, like, this particular connection.
Objection!
Oh, no. I messed up. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, well, we've got another failure. All right, so It's clearly the time. It's one of the statements. Is it the explosion specifically? Like, is it the explosion before the laughter that I'm trying to do this with? Phoenix, do you have any other advice you can give me? Aside from the crap that you told me before? The loud explosion was a firecracker that Dats threw. How cruel would it be if someone kept a death count? It would be very cruel. Right. That explosion. Why is it happening at 3 p.m.?
Objection!
Okay, that is the proper answer. Cool. I knew what I was gunning for, but I didn't know how to explain it. Your benevolence, there's a glaring problem with this insight. There is? Al says, excuse me, while I watch the stream on my phone because I need to sew something. Oh, neat. I hope you're having fun sewing something. Pickle says, a little nitpick, but it's weird how he would fire the gun after closing his eyes. Have you ever died before? I don't think you can really judge him in his shoes. You stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we know that the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence.
I suppose I'll have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3 p.m.?
Well, this thing that happened at around 2 p.m.
Take that!
I'll be your guide's statement. Again?
Yes, because to summarize what he said. At around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the palace courtyards.
Around 2 p.m.?
That's right, 2 p.m. Not 3 p.m. 2! Oh, she looks very mad.
Are you suggesting?
I think you know where I'm going with this. Dats' laugh, the cry of the warbot, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albie's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all of these sounds. Therefore, what this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that the deceased's final moments were at 2 rather than 3 as we had originally thought. Dare I ask? It means the murder took place a full hour before Dirk entered the tomb. Palkoka!
How could this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken?
Yes. Oh, you broke all your nails. That's okay. It seems like you draw with them, so you probably have them added and applied several times a day. Now you see why justice will always prevail. You know, I just have to fail twice. Oh no, the Yu-Gi-Oh villain is angry.
Peace, peace, I say. Now then, defense. I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision.
No, it didn't have a freaking face.
How do you explain that?
I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, the figure didn't actually have a face.
Oh, you are absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain who it was.
Oh man, just like the American judge. He's so bipolar. Just like,
now I'm sorry, I can't deal with this.
But, Your Honor, this.
Oh, you're absolutely right about them.
Furthermore, need I remind you that if the vision is from 2 p.m., Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright, which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him. She is a personification of a bitch, Fluffy, the squirrel says. Agreed.
So then, what are we to make of this 1 hour difference?
Wait, 2 o'clock. That's when my mother was performing the rite of channeling. The palace guards had all been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for the Wright. But don't tell me. The royal residence, it would have been virtually unguarded.
Which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb. Funny stuff has made a thing, and I have to show it on the stream now. Oh, whoopsies. I don't want to move that. I want to enlarge this. We now cut to Vitten's... Oh, sorry. There. That's my real name if you didn't know. I don't use it very often, mostly because I'm trying to separate my real life from fake life. Well, I wouldn't say fake life. Basically my chill life. Anyway, we saw a visual representation of BitB's face cam currently. I can't really put it anywhere comfortably. Oh well. You have no idea what that means, but it's still great. Anyway.
Defense, are you saying that this is someone disguised as the accused?
That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty. Put it over Phoenix's face. Nah.
Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memories of the dead. That the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance. Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been as clear as day.
He's got a point there. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is, why? Apollo? Maybe the killer could afford to be so bold. Because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance's vision. What? It's possible that the killer dared to dress in Dirk's clothes and stand square in front of Inga. Precisely because they knew they could get away with it. But how could anyone be so sure of something like that? A long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder that impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. What if Inga had it? Then, are you saying that this is literally how Inga saw the world? Yes, we can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case, we can. And if he had that disorder, I imagine this is how faces appeared to him in life. That's terrifying. Okay, let's say the killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk. But if you're wondering about how to prove that Inga had it, you already have what you need. Really?
Well, defense, do you have anything to show to this court?
Yes, I believe so. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look in the evidence over again.
What explains why the face of Minister Inga's killer is absent in the seances?
Oh, actually, I know. Inga's notes, a notepad used by Inga. And it's a bunch of characteristics.
A notepad?
Yes, it was found in Minister Inga's room, and it holds the answer we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics.
And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer. How?
The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. It is he who saw the killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him.
What's this?
I believe Minister Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being. And why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics. Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. By simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me.
Yes, I need pictures of Spider-Man, but unfortunately I can't see his face.
Actually, wouldn't that be hilarious, just being like, finally, I can reveal Spider-Man's true identity. Who the hell are you? You knew that your husband had such a disorder, didn't you? Maybe. He never wished for it to become public knowledge.
But I suppose there's no use in keeping quiet about it now, as it is as you say. My late husband had a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is prosopagnosia. Prosopagnosia. All right. So Mr. Wright was right.
Of course I was right. Funny Stuff says, is this a picture of Spider-Man? What about this one? I don't know. What is my purpose in life but hunt Spider-Man?
The memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do appear strange at times. There is precedence for this.
So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage. Right, so there's someone who is both knowledgeable about the divination seance and aware of Inga's affliction. Your Eminence, who knew about your husband's condition?
Oh, a small number of servants who tended to his needs. And me. Surely you're not about to insinuate that I committed this crime.
Oh, no, Your Eminence.
Still, could she have done it? I feel like she might have.
Garan has an alibi, remember? Oh, right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2 p.m. In that case... Your Eminence, does Nana know about Minister Inga's disorder?
Of course she does. She's our head servant.
So as head servant, she knew about Mr. Inga's condition. And as the princess's personal attendant, she is familiar with the divination seance. If these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect, I don't know what would.
Don't slap that paddle like you're going to paddle me. You witless lawyer, how quick you are to forget the facts.
Facts like...
When Inga was last seen alive, you claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible. For Rafa saw him at 2:30.
We did completely forget about that. Yeah, but that was under weird circumstances. No, there must be some mistake.
So you see, the murder could only have happened at 3 p.m. The hour Dirk entered the tomb. There's no other answer to this puzzle.
Ugh. Why don't we ever get to make up answers like Garan makes up law? Pickleboyo says we still haven't really addressed the idea that the killer is still hiding in the sarcophagus, right? Man, they had better have some warm-ass clothes. Guess it's back to square one. Where do we go wrong? I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Our deductions so far explain everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30. I see, and without that, the final puzzle piece, all of our deductions fall apart. Apollo, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger picture. Time to think outside the box then, right? Let's see. It would be impossible to see Inga walking around after he'd been killed. But what if there was a way to make people think he was alive even though he was dead? Like a way to make people witness the living dead. Sounds like some kind of TV show. Things like that don't happen in real life. Unless, of course... Apollo? Did you just... I did? I figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead. Out of context, holy shit. Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong after all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen headed into the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how. I certainly hope you will. Funny Stuff says, Apollo, did you? I did! You just shit yourself. Because I have no idea what you're talking about. The Minister Inga her benevolence saw was, in fact, someone disguised as him. Someone channeling him. A ghost or... I think it's a disguise. It was someone disguised as Minister Inga.
But I saw his face. I have no doubt that it was my father.
Then, maybe you had the facial recognition disorder too. That's utter hogwash, Hornhead. Why don't you prove it then? Would you really still recognize me without these horns?
That look you make when trying to dig yourself out of a hole with such nonsense. It is forever etched into my brain. I couldn't forget that imbecile visage if I wanted to. If you don't believe me, how about I yank those horns off your head? Then we'll see.
No, thanks. I'm kind of attached to them. Okay, on to the next idea. Okay, all right. So, I don't think it would be a ghost. I don't think it would be a clone. Shit. Wow. This really shrinks the amount of people down that could possibly do this. The Hooded Hobo says, it's a ghost clone channeling a disguise. It was the deceased being channeled. It's the only way a man who was already dead could have been seen by her benevolence.
Channeled, you say?
That's right. And there are only 2 people capable of spirit channeling here in Kurain. Her Eminence, Queen Garan, and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister.
It would seem that you are even bent on making me part of this crime.
Party to this crime, rather. That's why she fainted.
Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30 p.m., the time at which my husband was seen? Eminence. I believe you had completed the channeling rite and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there, too.
Niuda has to keep up with her schedule, too. What doesn't she make him do? Then that leaves only Maya. Yeah, it does. Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power towards nefarious ends? The real killer could have been threatening her. Niuda keeps dropping in and out of existence. Oh yeah, don't worry about that. He does that. That cannot be! So then, Inga's scream. That was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world. After all, that's when the flow of time would have picked back up from after he died. So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet thinking he just had a nightmare. Then, realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead.
Then, her benevolence really did see a dead man running?
Ah! But who? Who did the channeling?
Using the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime? How can this be?
The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the stand. Is she even okay right now?
Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness?
It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments.
Insult me all you want, witch, but you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth.
Very well. Let us adjourn until next witness is ready.
Looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit of Maya Fey on the next stream of BitBit Streams. Which is good, because I need to go and eat something. Oh boy, that was a tough one. It's been a while since this game has genuinely boggled my brain, and it's nice when it happens. Like, we're getting into the hard parts where you really need to think outside the box. Consume! I definitely will. Boy, I wonder how Maya is actually doing. Again, Maya passed out and probably wasn't being fed in any way, shape, or form for a long while there. That being said, it makes a lot of sense that Maya would have been, if Maya somehow channeled Inga for whatever weird reason, it would make sense that Maya, well, why the heck would Maya be not in that chamber? God, this makes no fuck. Oh, well, I don't know. I guess it'll all make sense once we finally piece things together. Change the first letter of which. It's a better suit for the queen. I try not to swear too much, but you're right. She is a bitch. Funny Stuff said, I thought it was this stream, but well. This'll be interesting. I'm excited to see just, Maya back on the stand, trying to fricking defend herself. Okay, enough nonsense. Let's move on over to the end screen. Thanks everybody for coming out, and especially thanks to people that did any kind of random donations or any kind of follows. Roll the credits. Thank you, sir. It's never necessary to do any kind of donations or anything like that, but I appreciate it when you do. It's nice, it's sweet, and it contributes to the show. So thank you very much. Oh, hello. Mighty Carrick has just subscribed. Actually, not subscribed, but followed. Sorry, I get subscribe and follow mixed up just because I've known YouTube for too long. So there, I have refreshed the followers. There we go. Anyway, at some point I'll be uploading this to the YouTube. I cannot really say when, not sure, but we'll see. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And next Wednesday, I have a lot of options for things I could possibly play. It might be Shovel Knight. It might be Hollow Knight. It might be other random things. I've got a bunch of games sitting on the backlog that have been out for a while, but I have not been able to get around to them. Like, ugh, man. I limit myself to 3 days a week just because that's about as much time as I can give to streams. But boy, oh boy, there are some days where I wonder if I should open a slot, because good lord. Shovel Knight is good. Oh my god. I'm so tempted. I so badly want to do it. I might do it. We'll see. I need to make a decision about that. I guess I'll be making that decision in about 3 days. We'll see. Okay. Again, I'm off. Thanks for coming out. See you next time.